everyone, Colin here. We're going to talk real quick about how to fill out a contract. Obviously, there's a lot of pages of the contract, and we're going to break this up into a few different videos, but I want to start right at the very beginning. We've got a contract to fill out. We're trying to buy a house. Now, guys, it's very important to notate, if you see right here, this is a 1 to 4 family residential contract. This is not for anything larger than that. This is 1 to 4 families. This is not for raw land. This is not for ranches. This is typically what we're going to be doing. And if you notice here, it says not for condominium transactions. This update is pretty recent. These may change a little bit, but the fundamentals are definitely going to be here, and that's what we're going to talk about. First thing is Section 1, parties to the contract. We have to make sure that this is filled out incredibly correctly, because otherwise the title search could be jeopardized, and also whenever we go to put things into the appraisal district with the county, this is where all that information comes from. So the first thing is we got to make sure that we have the seller's name down correct. A lot of times this will be in the MLS listing, but I don't trust that. I want to know how the county has it recorded. So what I want to do first is I'm going to go into one and I'm going to look up almost every county, has a CAD, or County Appraisal District. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Guadalupe County Appraisal District, that's short for CAD, and I'm going to look up, if you notice right here, it's going to be the property search. So whenever we get there, it's going to be straight property search. Usually if you go to a different site, they will have, if I go here, depending on the county, you will notice that you will have to click on property search. Some of them it pulls right up. So in this particular one, I'm going to have to click on property search. I want to see exactly which one, accept their terms, and we're going to find out exactly how the seller's name is listed on here. So we're going to use the world headquarters of White Line Realty, and we're going to go to 238 Terminal Loop Road. We're going to pretend like we're buying that. So what you're going to want to notice is right here, the owner's name, White Line Realty. That is actually how it is on the record book. So whenever I go to fill this out, you're going to fill this out exactly as the seller, as White Line Realty. It's very important that is absolutely correct. Sometimes it'll have first name, last name. Sometimes it'll have a junior, the third. It may be only the husband and not the wife. It doesn't matter. Whatever's in this CAD is going to be the most accurate. Now, and then the buyer is going to be whoever we want the buyer to be. We're going to pretend it's going to be me, but it's very important that your people know, if you're representing the buyer, that this contract is going to be filled out. This is exactly how this is going to go into the county appraisal district. So if I want my wife on there, we need to put her name on there as well. If I don't want my wife, or if I want it under an LLC, that's all very, very important to make sure you have that the way you want the county registration to be. The second part of this one right here, guys, is the property. Again, this might be in the MLS listing, but I do not trust it. We are going to look for the lot, the block, and the general description, and here's how I fill that out. About the land. All of the land is usually broken up by description, and this is how most things typically look. I changed over to the Bexar County Appraisal District to look at my particular property, that my house that I live in, and we're going to take a look because we have to fill this out exactly how it is filled out on the County Appraisal District. So the first thing it's asking for is the lot number, which if we come up here in the legal description, it will say lot number 14. That's pretty easy, guys. Go lot 14, block, right here, block number 11. So you're just going to fill this out exactly how it's listed into the CAD. And now here for the next part, I will actually copy the entire legal description because I want it all thing to be in there, so that way in case anybody knows. Now if we keep reading along here, that's the addition, and then city of, which I live in San Antonio, and the county of Bexar. All that again should be very easy. And it also says here, Bexar, Texas, known as. And what you're going to want to put here as the known as is the residential address. So it is known as 406 Ridge Bluff. So we're going to put that in there for the last line right there, which is should be the easiest part. That's what everybody calls it. But the legal description is going to be found in the county appraisal district, and it has to be accurate because you're not buying an address, you're actually buying a plot of land, which we have to make sure is correct with the county and the state and all those government entities. So make sure you check the CAD. Next video, D here, which refers to the exclusions. The following improvements and accessories will be retained by the seller, must be removed prior to delivery of possession. Whenever you sell a property, it includes everything that is fixed to the property, including fixtures. That's kind of the word that we use. But it's always safe bet to put just about everything that you're thinking that might be misconstrued for conveying on the property in this section. Meaning, I've got a shed out back that I don't want you to take. You would write shed out back, and you're going to want this to be as accurate as possible. So if that shed has a serial number, put it on there. I have a client right now that has a chandelier in the dining room that they want to take with me. Dining room chandelier it's excluded. It is not involved in the sale of this property. So anything that is excluded in the sale, you want to make sure you talk to your sellers if you're on the selling side with this. If you're on the buyer side, a lot of times they will put the exclusions in the MLS listing. Pay attention to that. It's usually in the agent remarks. So anything that is not included is excluded, and you need to make sure that that's documented, because this is the legal contract that has all of those things put into it. So pay attention to the MLS listing. If you're on the buyer side, if you're on the seller side, make sure you know what these exclusions are before you put it into the MLS.